Welcome back to the Voices of Women Summit, where in honor of International Women's Day 2026, we are raising the voices of hundreds of women so their messages can be heard. Your host for this session is Kimberly Crow. Kimberly is the founder of Entrepreneurs Rocket Fuel and the creator of the Voices of Women Summit. She's got another amazing guest coming right up. Take it away, Kimberly. Hey folks, we're back, and this time we're with my dear friend Kelly Hetherington. Kelly is amazeballs. I love her to pieces. She's done so many things with our community that have helped him out, and today she's going to be talking about identity in the Identity Workshop. Welcome, Kelly.
Thank you so much. So happy to be here, and with all these women, this is amazing. Love this.
It's awesome to have you. Thank you for carving time out of your day, because I know you are a busy woman with a lot going on. But I'm just going to get right in. Before we get into the identity workshop, let's get into your story. So tell us a little bit about your background and how you became so passionate about this.
Yes. So, in a previous life, I was a financial planner for 20 years and built a very successful business. Love my clients, love that side of the business. But there was always something sort of missing. I didn't really have a passion for it. And I always had that feeling like there's more for me. I just didn't really know what that was. And then kind of got stuck there with the golden handcuffs, as we say, right? And so it was the start of COVID, July 2020, and I was searching for something new, something that would help me grow. And in all honesty, I was looking to grow my business. Didn't really think about it from the personal side. So I was really just looking to grow my business. I was willing to invest in something business-wise, thinking, okay, I can do this. It'll make me more money. Great. And so that's when I found the work of Bob Proctor and started coaching under him. And so through that work, it truly it changed my life. It gave me my life back, but in such a more abundant way. So certainly more joy, more freedom, more money, all of that. And so yeah, I felt so passionate about this work that I left my 20-year career and started this from scratch. And so here we are. And now I get to help all other women with the same kind of transformation.
I think that's amazing. And it's hard to do that transformation when you are doing really well in a career and just not loving it anymore. And you know you're meant for something else. And then you take on helping other humans, I think is fantastic. All right. So, Kelly, let's get into it. What's the identity workshop all about?
Yeah. So, when really for me, the foundation of all of this personal development, mindset work, whatever you want to call it, spirituality, it all incorporates our identity, our self-concept. You may have heard it as self-image as well. And so self-image is more the Bob Proctor language. And so truly understanding that what I believe is possible for me sets the foundation of it all. Because if I don't believe I can achieve it, I will never achieve it. So we can understand where our beliefs are about ourselves, about our wealth capacity, about our success by looking at the results we currently have. And so that was such a huge insight for me. And not from a place of, I'm terrible, I'm bad, I'm wrong. It's just, ooh, okay. So maybe my mind, maybe my identity needs an upgrade. So if I want to upgrade my life, I want to upgrade my business, the fun I have, the freedom that I have, I need a new self-concept, a new idea of who I am. And so that really was the start of it all. And then I really started building, okay, what does it really look like to have $1 million business and then a multi-million dollar business? So, and creating that identity. So who do I need to be? What are the thoughts I need to be thinking about myself? And then what are the actions I need to be taking in that space? So if I believed I was a multimillionaire, I wouldn't be having negative thoughts about my success. I wouldn't be saying terrible things about myself and my worth. I would just believe that I'm worthy of all of that. And then I'd move differently in the world. I'd take different action. Therefore, different results show up.
I think if you, it's, I don't want to say, is it act as if? right? Or but act from the place of, not like
Yes.
not just strictly pretend like we're playing pretend and we know it's not really true, but you actually act from the place of where you would be acting if you were in
Yes.
that position. Is that correct?
That's exactly it. So that's all Neville Goddard work. If you've studied anything
I
under Neville
love Neville
Goddard,
Goddard. I
oh
love
gosh,
him.
me too. That's
He's good for
that's
the world.
oh my gosh. So I study so much of Neville Goddard and so much of Neil Donald Walsh. So yeah, the act as if I have heard that many times. And when I was first involved in coaching, that's kind of how it was presented. For me, I don't love that language because I feel like I'm acting like somebody I'm not.
Right.
Where I'm
Right.
like, no, I am this identity. I am the identity of a multi-million dollar successful business owner who has all the freedom, all the love, all the friends, all the travel that I desire. So I step into that and embody that, if
I think
that makes sense.
I think when you've achieved something like, all right, many women here may have been married. Some of them may not, but many of them may have been. And when you're married, there's no problem saying, I know that I'm married, right? Or when
Yeah.
you're single, there's no problem saying, I know that I'm single. That knowing in your head is
Yes.
the thing that you need to believe that to operate from when you're not the thing that you
Mhm.
want to be, right? So if you want to be single, I won't do it that way. If you want
Yeah.
to be married and you're not, I would do from married to not married. I'll do
Yeah.
if you're not married and you want to be married, what do you do? What how do you act? How do you operate? What are the things that you do? What's your come from in the morning that you will do when that is true? Is that kind of it?
Yeah, absolutely. So funny, this is not really at all where I was going to go with this, but funny because I do have some clients that that's one of their goals is to find a partner.
Yeah.
And so the end, like when we live from the end result, meaning from we're living from the goal. So, I said, well, then why are you dating this guy that you don't even really care for?
Oh,
He's taken the seat at the table. So, have you emptied out part of your closet to leave room for his clothes to be there? Things like that, right? And they're just kind of fun and it shifts the energy is what it does. This is all energy work as we know. So it shifts the energy and allows more to come in. Same with money, same with love, same with health, all of it.
yeah,
Hmm.
I definitely have seen that at work. When they're in the when people are in the middle of it though, they're like, I can't even see how that would be. I don't even understand how that would like I can't even look that far. What do you do? What do you say to folks when you're workshopping them to move them
Yes.
forward?
Yes. So, two things on that. So, number one, I always have my clients choose a vision. So, the vision is the long term kind of thing, right? It's like 20 years out. This is as far as I can stretch my imagination and what I could possibly believe at this time that's possible for me. And then we choose a goal. And so the goal is I always choose like just a 90-day goal. Even 6 months feels
Too
too long for
long?
me. Like I
Okay,
don't
all right.
I don't get my butt in motion, right? So then we kind of take a chunk of that. So if the vision is a multi-million dollar business or a partner or whatever the long-term goal is or long-term vision is, then we just choose something for 90 days. So maybe it is the $1 million vision. So for in 90 days, we're going to talk about the manifestation of 100,000 or 50,000. So it's just like a bite out of the
Chunk.
vision.
Okay,
Yes, a
got it.
chunk out of the vision
Got
so
it.
that it feels more palatable. We have a stronger ability to believe it, and our belief is what creates our reality.
I know you all have heard this before, but when Kelly says it, it just seems to like all sink in, like all the Legos fit together. I totally love it. There is a question in the chat, and I want to honor that. Amani says, I'm from Sudan and currently reside in Egypt. I aspire to attain power and influence to establish myself on the right path and to gain professional recognition on an international level. But I need psychological support to help women gain their rights to power and wealth in that country. What a powerful intention. First of all, great job having the intention
Wow.
and holding it. Any
Chills.
response to that, Kelly?
Wow. Yes. Again, an incredible vision. So, what is one step you could take today? So, we often look at the grand vision and we think, oh, but how is that ever going to be possible? So we get stuck in the how. And I know, Kimberly, we've talked about that before. Oh, so we can, because we can't see the how, we tend to then give up on our dreams.
Hmm.
So the how reveals itself one step at a time. So we use our intuition. So for people also, Kimberly, when you're talking about like how do we even get clarity? Well, we need to give ourselves the space in our mind and the silence to hear our intuition so we can act on that.
Yeah. I think
So,
that's something that really changed and shifted in my life is because I'm a go-getter, right? Like I got a lot of moving parts. I got a lot of things to do. And really taking that time to be like, this is my time to meditate. This is my downtime.
yes.
This is
Yes.
not answer email time. This is not, but just be like, where am I in this
Yes.
space? And where am I going next? And
Absolutely.
listening to that intuition was hard for somebody who's like wanting to do all the things all the time, or somebody who's struggling and not there yet, and they feel like any downtime just sitting isn't productive, so they should be doing something else. What would you say to that?
Yeah. So this is something, so I am also a very high achiever. I have a lot of energy. And so I tend to attract clients like that as well, of course. So this is something we work on even together. I'm right alongside them in this. So if you are that type of person, I recommend the book 10 times is easier than two times by Dan Sullivan. So he talks about the recovery stroke, is what we call it. And so if you look at an athlete, LeBron James, for example, he spends more money on his recovery than he does on his actual training, knowing that the recovery is so important for high performance. So just like that, we consume material all the time. And even it could be amazing material like what we've got going on today in the summit. You could be listening to podcasts, you could be listening to high frequency music, but it doesn't allow our brains to sort of turn off and hear. We must give
Mm.
ourselves a space to listen. So how I position this with my clients, and now they've done it so they see the proof. So I encourage you, just try it. The proof will show itself. That's when you're going to be much more creative. That's when you start to quantum leap, when you follow your intuition, because that's like the soul calling, not the human mind, because the human
Ooh,
mind is limited. So when we listen to our intuition and act on that, then we start quantum leaping our lives and our businesses.
I love that. Okay, so it's 10 times is easier than two
Two
times.
times.
Than two times. Okay, and here's the link to the book. You guys can check it out. It's super
Yeah.
awesome.
So good.
Yeah, really, really cool thing. So thanks, Art. You went and grabbed it. You knew what I was thinking. That was awesome.
Art,
I love
that
it
is
when you read my
amazing.
mind. Totally great. So yes, I just grabbed it an audiobook because you recommended it. I haven't gotten that one yet, and I've heard of it before. I think it's
So
really,
good.
really powerful. Joanna says, how do we harmonize the recovery time with productivity or revenue generating activity
Yes.
so that we keep moving forward? And this is such a good question. I'm in Brendan
Yes.
Burchard's event, and he's like, stop the scroll, stop doing this, and start doing productive stuff. What's going to move the needle? Move the needle, move the needle. And I'm like,
Exactly.
gah!
Yes,
Oh, how do
yes. So, number one in the recovery, if you're just starting out, so in 10 times is easier than two times, Dan Sullivan actually takes 150 recovery days and he schedules those into his calendar first before anything else. Understanding recovery isn't just lying on the couch watching Netflix. This is where creation happens. This is where you are going to drive your business forward because when you give yourself the space to listen and ask for guidance, all of a sudden you're going to be like, oh, I should call this person. Oh, this woman just came to my mind. I should call her. And next thing you know, you've got your next three clients.
I love it. Yes, that is so true. But then you get into productivity time. That's okay.
Yeah, because that is highly productive. So now, when I first started doing this, I do it a lot more now because I've seen the evidence for myself. But when I first started, I also am not a believer. Like I don't sit down and visualize for an hour. I do it for 10 minutes a day. Meditation, I'm actively working on it, but I'm only up to about 7 minutes
Yeah.
if I'm being totally transparent.
Yeah.
And because I am a high energy person, so I'm like, okay, let's go. So start small. And the last talk was about compounding interest, right? So that was really hard for my financial planner mind not to start the conversation in this. But just like when your money compounds interest, this will also start compounding for you. You will see the proof, you will have
That's
the proof
true.
in your bank account. So you will actively start doing more of it. But just ease yourself in because we don't want to throw off your whole nervous system either.
Yeah, and I have experienced the truth of that. And for me, it ebbs and flows. I'll be like, okay, well, I'm going to be really good about, meditating twice a day. That was my thing. I was like, that I was told if you meditate twice a day, then you'll be able to get more clear guidance and blah, blah, blah. It's a little on the woo side. You bring in spirit guides and all kinds of fun stuff. And it worked. I mean, it really worked. And I thought, oh, this is great. And I'd be in this group with people and people are like, oh, Kimberly, you're doing really well. What are you doing? And I'm like, I'm just doing the meditation twice a day, like they told us to do it. And people are like, oh, yeah, I'm not really, I haven't, it's not like they're not disciplined to do it, right? So if you do it, it works. If you do, I think Weight Watchers said, if you do it a little, it works a little. If you do it a lot, it works a lot.
Yes.
It's the
Yeah.
same thing with meditation.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. So, just another thing that might help you. So, the way that we are designed as humans, so we live on three planes of understanding. So, we have our spiritual plane, our intellectual plane, and our physical plane. So, what that means in business, so the ideas come from the spiritual plane. So, that's our
Mm,
intuition, that's our
yes.
guidance. And then we take action on that, which is our intellectual plane. So we move, that's what drives the business forward. And then on the physical plane is then when the manifestation comes in. So now you see the clients, you see the money, you see all the stuff. So when we think of recovery, that is our spiritual practice as well. And that's where the grandest ideas come from. That's where the ideas come that we are meant to have. So if you are one that this would be a great little way to start. So if you're one that really focuses on strategies all the time and you're like, I'm trying this strategy, I'm trying this strategy, I'm trying this strategy, take one of those moments where you're doing that. If you're going to spend 10 minutes on that strategy and go to silence and ask for guidance and see what comes.
Ooh, yeah. See what comes in first.
Yes.
Ooh, I like that a lot. Because if you're going to spend the time anyway, why not just check in? And that's
Mhm.
very aligned with Abraham Hicks, which I'm a big follower of, which is get in the vortex and then like get aligned
Yes.
and then do the thing, right? And if you don't do that, it's sort of like saying, I don't have time to find my keys, so I'm just going to walk to Phoenix.
I love that. I'm
It's a
stealing
good
that, by the
analogy.
way.
It's a good analogy.
Yes. Yes. Hmm.
All right. Okay. So this has been a good workshop. If you guys have had a little switcheroo on your identity, or if you would like to do a little switcheroo on your identity so that you are the person that is your goal person and you're showing up that way on a regular and consistent basis, let us know in the chat. Give us a little bit of feedback so that we know we've got you with us. While they're doing that, let's talk about your gift, which is freaking incredible. So let's talk about your gift.
Yes. So there's two. So yes. So the upper limit belief tool, this, I encourage everybody, please grab this. It's a recording of me doing this tool. So we all have upper limit beliefs. And what this is we have an upper limit to what we believe is possible for us and what we allow into our lives. Money, yes, but also happiness. So
Mm.
we kind of cap ourselves. And this, whether you're making $2,000 a month or $1 million a month, we all have upper limits. So what this tool does is it's deep subconscious work. I'm going to preface it with that because you're going to want to make sure you do some grounding around it, but it's deep subconscious work that allows these upper limits to present themselves to you so you know what you have to work on so that they're no longer holding you back because they can be buried so deep that we're not even aware.
All right. And
So
it's just a
this is,
Zoom link to watch a video. So you don't
yeah,
even have to opt in. I don't know why you did that. Like you should get
yeah,
all
I
their
should,
leads. It was,
yeah,
oh
true.
well.
Wasn't smart.
That's all
Wasn't
right.
thinking.
Just
Yeah,
watch it
all
and
good.
then connect with her because she's freaking amazing and you'd be crazy not to. And this is going to be great. So yes, take some time and make sure that you do a deep dive with it because this can remove those upper limits. I talk to people all the time who are like, wait a minute, you live a life and if it's not fun, it's not worth doing. And I'm like, yes, I live that life. And I
Yes.
mean it. I live that life. And people are like, well, how do you handle, taxes or this or that? And I'm like, I live in the fun and I know that it can be done. And for people who aren't there yet, they don't understand how to have that mindset, but I really, really do. I've owned that one. So when
Yes.
you move your upper limit belief of what is possible for you, I'm not on everything. I'm not great on everything. Like there's parts of me that still need a lot of work. But that particular one, I already know and I already own it. So being able to remove the upper possibility of, we can have fun sometimes, but it can't all be fun and games. That was
Mm,
actually a phrase in my family. It can't
wow.
all be fun and games. Woo, yeah, it
Ooh,
can.
yeah, again. Yeah, I'm glad you broke that pattern.
Yeah, me too. Okay, so that said,
Yeah.
then you also have a VIP gift, which I know I've watched you sell this,
Yes.
and it sells very well, and you're giving it
Yes.
to our VIPs, and this is
Yes.
incredible. So tell us
Yes.
about the VIP gift.
Yeah. So the VIP, it's a program that is called Manifest. It's a 4-week self-study program. You have access to videos in there that I've recorded. There's a workbook. There's articles to read, recommended reading, and you're guided through this 4-week course. So this is a way to tip your toes into the manifestation world and what it's all about. And so even people that have been in this world before I think we did a drop, and I think that's what the drop was, right? And so some women that had opted in on that, and I'm receiving amazing feedback from
I
them.
know one of them. She
Yes, you
talks about
do.
you all the time. Jennifer Takagi has done this program, and and she talks to me about it all the time. Tell some of the stories of the things that she tells to you.
Oh yeah. So, well, first off, she was like, why? So repetition is really important in this work. And it sounds boring, but I promise you that it's not. So when she first started, she's like, what? I have to listen to the same video for a week? What the heck is this girl doing? And so, but now she really understands it because every day our awareness changes. We can change our identity every single day. So what you hear from in a lesson today versus tomorrow could be completely different, or how you perceive it. So as you grow, the program sort of grows with you. And so yeah, we had a great chat yesterday or last week. So she's had so much more clarity on what she wants in her business. And I will tell you 100% that she did share with me that after that course, she's launching I think it's a mastermind with
Yeah,
a
it's
colleague of
incredible.
hers. Yeah. And so she said, in the first 2 days, she said we had 0 registrations for the longest time. And in the first 2 days, they had their first 3 registrations. And this is a paid course. So in 3 days, she started making money on something that she had never made before.
And she keeps telling me, like, every time I hear this, and it's the same video, every time I hear it, I hear something different. And I'm like, I don't think that was there when I listened to it yesterday.
I
Because
know.
what you say is like you're not ready to receive that yet.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and we need to know this as teachers as well. When we teach, I've
Yes.
taught the 4 stages 75,000 times. And every
Yes.
time I teach it, somebody's like, "Oh, I never heard that part before." And I'm like, "Exactly, because you weren't
Exactly.
ready. You weren't ready to hear it." So this
100%.
repetition thing is fabulous. If you're a VIP, do not miss this gift.
Yes.
This is a life changer for you. And I've watched you sell this. It does really well. It sells like hotcakes. So having it as our gift is a real boon for us at Voices of Women. So I definitely thank you for that. This is absolutely incredible. I think you're amazing.
Thank you. You too.
Absolutely. All right, we have our next speaker up. It is Orly Amore. It is the only talk is on this track. Orly is going to be coming and talking about monetizing your message through public speaking. She's absolutely incredible at what she does. And she's going to talk to you about the charity that she runs, which is the charity of choice for the Voices of Women 2026. So you can find out if that touches your heart. You can find out more about that in just a minute. But before we let you go, the amazing Kelly Hetherington. I love you so much. I'm so glad you're here.
You too.
Tell us any final words for the crew.
Yeah, I just want to say, 6 months from now, you could look back and realize that today at Voices of Women, that this was the catalyst for your transformation. And all you need to do is decide. So decide you're worthy, and decide you're worthy of investing in, and watch your life unfold in a completely different way.
That was fire. I love it. Thank you so much, Kelly. All right,
Thank
ladies
you.
and gentlemen, I'm Kimberly Crow. We'll see you back at the top of the hour. Cheers.
Cheers.
Wow, that was an incredible
Thanks for
session.
that. There's
For
some good stuff in
replays
there.
of this talk and all the talks, plus a host of valuable bonus gifts, upgrade now to VIP. That way you can revisit your favorite sessions and catch any you may have missed. We'll see you back for our next session shortly. Which one?